Alright, you done. Woo! Unite. Unite Naginata. Unite Claw. Damn, the damage on that. He still ain't touched the ground. He still ain't touched the ground. Nigga, God. Oh, that's cold.
Where's the nanobio weapon?
Right there, dude, by your feet.
Well, we about to step on this nigga, bro. Oh my God, no. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Looming large, so who's gonna make a stand? 100 Rangers are taking charge, the line is drawn in the sand. Knuckles crack in 200 very different ways, but each and every one has got the same thing to say.
Unite Morph!
Because their hearts beat as one.
Unite Hand!
And put the bad guys on the run. When the job's too ominous for an average Jill or Joe, they go anonymous and watch their powers grow. Got no fame, no fortune to claim, fighting for the status quo. Don that mask and take them to task. Hurry now, it's time to go. They can do it, they can do it, 'cause they're super sisters and bros. The unstoppable, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Go, go team, demolish those fiends, toss them in the garbage can. Wipe the floor with dangers galore, to the world of spick and span. They can do it, they can do it. The indestructible, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So hopefully after watching that badass intro, you guys are interested in seeing what the video has to offer for the rest of the way through. But today we're going to be talking about the Wonderful 101, and it is, in my opinion, the most technical game that no one ever played. It came out during the Wii U era of the console generations, and then upon release, it was a game that no one really knew exactly what it was or how to play it because it didn't really tell you how. But it was made by Hideki Kamiya, the same person behind games you may recognize like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Beautiful Joe, and generally the godfather of action games and Platinum Studios. But we're going to dive into that a little bit, and I'm going to give you guys some insight and analysis on one of my favorite games of all time, which is a cult classic about me and the other fan base, and the perspective of someone who has actually played the game and understands what it's about. So hope you guys enjoyed my point of view on a Wonderful 101. So I guess we can go ahead and get right into the video. So whenever I tell someone about this game, I always have the most enjoyable yet difficult time explaining what exactly it is. At its core, I guess to save the explanation, I can just say it's another action game. But just looking at the clips at the beginning of the video, I mean, come on now. I just feel like that doesn't really do it justice. Wonderful 101 is an action game, but you're playing as essentially 100 different people at one time, and you control them to have them form different shapes and weapons to be able to fight your enemies with. So it's like Pikmin on steroids, plus Attack on Titan, plus Devil May Cry, plus Bayonetta and Beautiful Joe, all in like the same mix, and you fight enemies that are just like thousands upon thousands or even millions your size, and it's just, it makes up for a really, really wacky, enjoyable, emotional, and just fun experience all around. I can't really explain it. I guess that's why I'm doing this long ass video for it, but essentially that's what it is. Getting into some of the history of the game, Wonderful 101 is developed by Platinum Studios, and its creator is Hideki Kamiya, otherwise known as God. Platinum Games is sort of a rebirth of Clover Studios, so from now on, whenever I mention their games, I'm going to lump them in both together for convenience. But they're known for making many cult hits such as Beautiful Joe, Okami, God Hand, Vanquish, and Bayonetta. Wonderful 101 isn't really different. It's part 2 of Kamiya's Hero Trilogy, which started with Beautiful Joe, which is inspired by Kamen Rider. This game is inspired by Super Sentai - Power Rangers if you're from the American audience, and his third project is inspired by Ultraman. Needless to say, Kamiya was a huge nerd for superheroes, and his inspiration bleeds through his work. It's absolutely beautiful. Actually, I can make a whole section on just how awesome Super Sentai is in of itself, which is the Japanese original rendition of Power Rangers. Power Rangers is kind of an Americanized version of it. But to drive my point, I saw this, and I understood.
Poison Star, Sasori Orange. Warera, Super Sentai.
Now, Sentai simply means hero in Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously, there's been many forms of media that has taken inspiration from Sentai throughout history. You know, you have One Piece with the Straw Hat Pirates fighting oars, and also Sanji's battle suit. I can't really think of any other explanations right now because I've been on a really, really heavy One Piece binge, but you get what I mean. Wonderful 101 is just another coin to add to the hat. But I digress. Looking back, it seems like combo-heavy action games aren't really as explored as a genre now that I think about it. Or I don't know if I can say they really ever have been. Nowadays, the only combo-heavy action game that I will argue that is mainstream is probably Devil May Cry, which is also developed by Kamiya but under Capcom instead of Platinum. And before you say in your annoying actually voice, no, God of War doesn't count, as it plays more like a hack and slash or a button mash action game than one that is inherently focused on the depth of combat, movement, and mechanics in a way to where it will allow more player freedom and expression to where it makes the game different depending on how someone plays. Essentially what I'm trying to say is, if you can't do this, then it doesn't count. Now, on the same hand, I understand why games like this don't really sell super duper massively and why they develop cult followings, because I feel like it simply comes down to ease of access. Most players wouldn't know how to do any of this stuff or even want to put the time into learning how to play a game at such an in-depth level like this. So, usually when action games are made, they don't have nearly the amount of depth as games like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, or, you know, general Kamiya games would have. That's why they typically end up being, you know, button mashers or, you know, over-the-shoulder action games or things of that matter. Wait. You're telling me God of War has combo videos? Hold on a minute. Alright, let's see what this is about. Okay. God damn! Hey, he going hard on that shit though. Yo! Alright. Alright. Alright, I guess I stand corrected. But all jokes aside, the only action games that have come out recently that sort of tries to have that level of depth that the trademark Kamiya game has is probably Avengers and maybe God of War. But those games were in no way marketed to be combo heavy games, so those aspects of the game's combat fall under a lot of players' radars. I mean, from the God of War combo video I showed you, that guy basically put 6,000 hours into that game to be able to do that stuff. And he's the only person that I know that made combo videos for God of War and the new Avengers game. So I can understand why those aspects of the game's combat didn't catch on, especially in the mainstream demographic they wanted to appeal to. God of War trying to appeal to, you know, also core God of War fans, but at the same time, it was seen to be a more story-driven game, and Avengers was seen to be more of a looter, I guess, shooter type of game. So I completely overlooked those games until I saw this guy absolutely destroying ass in these combo videos, which, again, only he's been making. I mean, hell, if they had shown more of that, I probably would have bought those games, but I doubt the developers even knew the games could be played like that. Which kind of brings me to my next point. I feel like that is what sets a Kamiya action game apart from the others. He knows what to deliver in an action game, and the mechanics implemented to do badass shit doesn't feel like an exploitation, and more so like the game was intended to be played this way at a higher level. 200 years of game design, Riot? Really?
What the hell is this?
Get this dog shit out of my face. We got a real pro coming through. Kamiya has perfected what an action game is to the very meaning of the word. Starting back to its original creations of Devil May Cry and Beautiful Joe, he has done nothing but refine on those ideas and create the standard for what an action game is. And the Wonderful 101 is his love child for everything he learned from the fundamentals of creating an action game and turning it into an absolute unique gem and masterpiece. Too bad it came out on the fucking Wii U, and among those who did buy it, a lot of players didn't stick around because the game was too hard and didn't really tell you how to play. You just kinda had to know. Which was one of the main reasons the game did not sell well outside of the Wii U being a trash console, pretty much. But instead birthed a community of devout supporters who had stuck it out and realized the beauty of what this game had to offer. And we'll talk about more of what's become of the Wonderful 101 later on in the video, but for now, let's hop on to the story and gameplay. The story of Wonderful 101 is one of the many ways in which the game actually shines all the way through, taking inspiration from Sentai superheroes, or Power Rangers for the uncultured crowd. And yes, I'm throwing shots at Power Rangers, don't at me. One is objectively a kid show, and the other one is a legitimate superhero show with tension, emotion, and actual stakes, being that the heroes actually die. Anyways, Wonderful 101 is about superheroes saving the world from an alien invasion. Except this time, the alien invasion is tuned up to platinum levels of awesome. And the enemies are absolutely giant. I mean, we're talking about absolute units here. Hell, there's even a point in the story where the spectacle is so large, the Wonderful Ones have to take on literally millions of Gepjerk ships all at once, which is the name of the enemy faction in this game. And that wasn't even a half of it. It makes me wonder where they were when Awaz and Attack on Titan went down, because these heroes really about that action. Unite Bomb. Oh my god, attack team.
Unite!
Sword! Unite Whip! Yes! The tank! Oh my god! Unite Hammer! What's next? Unite Hand! The idea of a superhero game is generic enough, of course, but the flair and presentation this time around is what makes it unique. Not to mention a plot twist, emotionally driven narrative, amazing voice acting, and character development of the people you encounter. On my first playthrough on the Wii U, I actually found myself crying at some of the more dramatic moments.
Nelson, our future's in your hands. Take care of my boy.
No! Let go! Let go of me! Dad! Dad!
And yes, I know I'm a sap because it doesn't take much to make me cry over a movie or a video game. But I like that sad shit, and I love when I can feel the emotions of others through a TV screen or a monitor. It gets me more involved and empathetic towards what I'm paying attention to, and makes me love it more.
I want to live! Take me with you! Take me away from here!
All of what goes on in the story builds up to the most epic final boss in gaming history. And I'm not even joking. Without spoiling it too much, I'll just say he's the size of a fucking planet, and it takes literally every single ounce of strength to stop him from turning Earth into dust and oblivion. For his own, maybe justifiable means, I'll ask this relevant question. If you can go back and kill Hitler as a child, would you? A lot of you, I'd imagine, would say yes to save the greater good, but think about the nuance of the situation and how you being there may have an effect on who Hitler may have become in the first place. Or if you played Jak 2, you get the idea. Alright, now moving on to the gameplay. The gameplay of Wonderful 1 is very, very diverse. And by diverse, I mean hard as fuck. Now, I ain't even gonna lie, I almost stopped playing for the same reasons others stopped playing. But I was younger and not so well off in life, so I couldn't go around wasting money. So I had to nut up or shut up. And it isn't inherently hard because the execution is difficult outside of the more advanced concepts, but hard because the game literally tells you the bare minimum of how to play. I'm a bit more battle forged when it comes to games like this because I'm a seasoned fighting game player. You know, I have a background in Smash and other various fighters, so this concept isn't new to me. So learning how to play Wonderful 101 feels more like learning how to play a fighting game, so it felt more at home with me. There's the basic action game moves you'd expect from a Kamiya game, like the Stinger, which is the gap closer, you know, a juggle tool that helps you juggle enemies better, and, you know, an uppercut or a riser, which kind of starts to juggle. But the complexity comes when deeper mechanics get involved. This game has cancels, hidden mechanics, frame-perfect input sequences, resets, counter mechanics, and literally everything you can think of in any other action game, from Beautiful Joe to Bayonetta included up until this point. Hell, the game literally has Bayonetta in it. The thing that sets this game apart is the inclusion of the Wonderliner though, which uses a touchpad or the right stick. The concept is you're playing a Kamiya game, but the Wonderliner adds its own mechanics in and of itself because you have to use your other 100 or so heroes to unite morph into different shapes and items such as... Okay, here we go. Fists, swords, hammers, whips, bombs, naginatas, crossbows, laser visors, bazookas, claws, and even a fucking 9mm. I mean, my man Green straight up pulls out that blicky and just wets niggas up. It's amazingly unique and quirky. Here, in this next clip, I'll break down what I did in this combo alone. Okay, so what you saw there was the team attack function in the Wonderful 101. I kept hitting him so I could get him in a dazed state, and once they're in a dazed state, that's when you can hit him with a knock-up. And notice, once I get the knock-up, I use Unite Bomb with the Wonderliner, so I draw a bomb, and then I throw it to slow him down, since it kind of creates a slowing field. And once I use that, I quickly do Unite Hammer to knock him up, and I cancel the animation of Unite Hammer into Unite Rocket, which gives me that little bit of extra boost. And then I cancel Unite Rocket to start the second string of the combo. So everything that went on in the second portion of that combo, I formed Unite Hand with the Wonderliner, and then I hit him with the first attack of Unite Hand. I cancel that into Wonderful Cyclone with Unite Hand, which causes him to spin around the Unite Hand and keeps him juggled in the air for a bit longer. And while I'm doing that, you notice I use the Wonderliner for a split second to make my other squad members form a Unite Sword to keep him juggled. And while he's being juggled with that Unite Sword, I then cancel that into Unite Drill, and that Unite Drill turns to Unite Ball, which is what I see and what I use to keep him knocked up in the air. So after that Unite Ball connects, I hit him for a few times with that and play with him, and then I cancel that Unite Ball right into a Wonder Uppercut to keep him juggled more in the air, and then I go ahead and finish him off. The reason he was juggled so long is because in the basic combo in Wonderful 101, you get 2 knockups. You get 1 knockup per jump, and if you want to reset the opponent, you have to touch the ground again to knock him up again. That's why I use Unite Bomb to touch the ground so I can get a knockup on him again so he wouldn't fall straight to the ground, which allowed me to keep juggling him. And then voila, that's one of the combos I put together in a Wonderful 101. I'm pretty proud of it, but that's generally how it goes. It's just some of the systems. I hope I explained that decent enough. There's other videos out there if you want to get better guys, but that's generally how a combo would go one-on-one, except they can get more complex even than that, so. Now, I will say, after explaining that, I've been playing this game since it's come out, so about 6 years on and off. I'm a fairly decent player, and I can pure platinum most sections, but even still today, I'm still learning new ways to improve my gameplay. Now, all of this may sound like a deterrent to some because of the ease of access thing that I mentioned earlier, but I hope that doesn't deter you. If you're into games that are technical and allow that element of freedom, this is right up your alley. You know, this game doesn't hold your hand like other games. If you want to get better, you gotta put in the time and effort to get better. So, if you like fighting games, give it a try. Especially if you like, you know, Super Smash Bros. Melee, because that's a really highly technical game.
Hard percentage on strong hit and precision.
Oh, and that's crazy! Ledge Castle turnaround grab! Westboss is absolutely going up right now! Stop, Westboss! Calm down! Oh, and the shine's over!
Now, before going in, I would highly recommend looking at a beginner guide as you know, play, because it will help with the new player confusion a ton. I'm not saying learning this game is like a college course, but your ass better start studying. Having a basic knowledge can be fun for most, but imagine being able to do this. I'm not even at that level yet. Outside of the core gameplay, there's many sequences like on-the-rail sections, third-person camera sequences, and quick-time events. Some are better than the others, and some feel drug out, but they don't take you out of the main action for too long. The quick-time events are even perfectly placed here, especially with the inclusion of the Wonderliner. You get so hyped when the Wonderful One comes in clutch with the tag team. Oh shit. Oh! Ooh, nerd jump! Let's come on, Red! High stakes. Come on. Ooh, shit! No, no, no! We're surrounded. Come on, Pink! It's Pink turn? Let's go, Pink! Unite! Whip! Oh my god, it's so hype. Grab onto that shit. Version victory assist? Is Chase not thrust? Oh, the jukes! Hey. Come on, Blue! Hey, let's go, Blue! Unite sword! Oh my god. He grabbed all four of them. Turn that bitch around. Yeet! Woo! In that nigga shit, boy. Ooh! Oh, you're not getting away. Okay. What do you got? Oh, wiggle out. Ugh, let's go. Unite gun! Bro, they fucking. I don't even want to call this shit a tag team, but we fucking straight squatting up on this nigga, bro. This is the whole squad, bro. This ain't a Koski. Okay, Yellow, what you got? Unite Hammer! Come on! Boom! Let's go. The finisher? Oh my god. Yo, they about to hit this nigga with the most coldest shit fucking imaginable. Come down with the fucking guns. Trying to run away? Nah. Check this shit out. Yeet! Yellow comes in. Steak that nigga like a fucking plank of wood, bro.
You rock, Yellow.
Let's go, Yellow.
Man, catchphrase time. Let's hear it.
Hey.
What? We have no such catchphrase in my country.
Hey, Yellow MVP that shit, bro. Hey, he said.
Yet I have nothing.
Just knocked it into him like a nail. This is another one of those type of games where it's not really made to be quickly digested, so I can understand why it'll get poor reviews among, you know, certain sources. But it's a game that ages like fine wine, and the more time you play and put in it, the more your enjoyment gets exponentially greater. Alright, so final thoughts on the Wonderful 101. This part is a bit unscripted, but this is a game where, you know, I put the time into it myself, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I feel like anyone who is a fan of action games would enjoy this game as well. Of course, it's not perfect. There's things that are just inherently bullshit about the game that you just won't like. But as a product, you know, as a whole, once you get into it and learn the systems and mechanics of it, you'll find there's truly something wonderful here. And playing this game, I just can't stop thinking about, you know, what games used to be. And I know I mentioned this in every single one of my videos, but like, they just don't make them like this anymore. Games lack creativity nowadays, they lack passion, they lack you know, that thing that makes a game great, you know, without really trying super duper hard. And I feel like this game was Kamiya's, or at least one of his, you know, last hurrahs on, you know, trying to make something that he just truly felt passionate about. You know, of course, like I said earlier, he missed the mark in some areas, but you can tell his heart and soul went into making this game. And every time I pick up the controller to do badass pure platinum combos and just be wickedly awesome at it and just whatever, I can leave the game feeling gratified, you know. It's just, this is a game where you can put it down and then pick up years later and it still feel, you know, fresh and new because you're always learning new things. It's a game that just has infinite replay value just because of how it's designed. So if you haven't played Wonderful 101 and you have a Switch, it's now released remastered on the Nintendo Switch, so you can get it now. Which is also a fun fact that this game got a Kickstarter to get remastered on Switch because it didn't sell too well on the Wii U. So it just goes to further speak on how passionate Kamiya was about this game that he'd do that. And he also got Cisco to join the join a Kickstarter. If you don't know who Cisco is, I don't know if you came from the neck of the woods that I did, but he made that song, the thongs. He made that song, you know, the silver-haired R&B singer from the 90s and 2000s. It's just a fun detail that even he liked the game. I was like, man, when has he ever been relevant since that one hit song? But yeah, I know this game doesn't really have a lot of content surrounding it, so as a Wonderful 101 fan, you know, I wanted to do my part and add something, you know, to the mix of a game that has, you know, changed me in a sort of way. You know, this is a game that's gonna always stick with me, so I just wanted to make this video to leave my mark because this channel is about, you know, me doing these little video essays on games I'm passionate about and just other things I'm interested in, but these things take a lot of work and I enjoy doing them. So if you made it to the end of the video, there's also something I want to show you. I did my own little Unite transformation pose, so I wanted to put it towards the end as a surprise or a treat for anyone who stuck it all the way through. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. So I guess I'll leave it with Wonderized Nunchucks!